It's Saturday the 14th of October and I'm joining you live from the heart of White Regis with this week's Saturday 6 o'clock news. And in the news tonight, plans to develop Dorset County Hospital, including building a brand new emergency department and critical care unit, have been given the green light by planners from Dorset Council. The hospital trusts that Your Future Hospital programme sets out plans to expand facilities on site in Dorchester and help meet increasing demand. These include building a new emergency department and critical care unit on the site of the former Damer's First School as part of the government's New Hospitals programme. It will include a rooftop helipad, purpose-built spaces for both major and minor injuries and conditions, a mental health facility, a dedicated emergency paediatrics area, 24 critical care beds and an ambulance arrivals and fast assessment area. Following submission of the latest plans and then being approved, Dorset County Hospital now has full planning permission to build the new emergency department and critical care unit. Subject to a full business case approval by the government, main construction works on the new departments are due to begin in 2024. The former Damer's School was demolished over the summer and groundworks to prepare the site for development will begin this month. More information about the scheme can be found at www.dchft.nhs.uk/NHP-scheme. There we are, good news for our local hospital there that seems to be ever expanding and getting new facilities. Oh, there we go. So, Dorset Museum and Art Gallery has achieved official recognition as one of the top tourist destinations in the region. It has earned the prestigious Gold Standard accreditation from Visit England, making it only one of 8 tourist establishments in the southwest to attain this prestigious award. Visit England, the national authority responsible for evaluating, acknowledging and celebrating excellence in tourism and hospitality throughout England, was the awarding body. In total 91 gold accolades were presented to various venues across the country, acknowledging the exceptional visitor experiences available in England in 2023. Claire Dixon, who's the Executive Director at the museum, said this award is fantastic recognition of the world-class displays that have been created here at Dorset Museum and Art Gallery, as well as the amazing work that our team do to ensure all visitors have an exceptional experience. We are still struggling to achieve the level of visitor numbers that we need after the impact of the pandemic, the cost of living crisis and other political and economic challenges. Awards like this are important in raising our profile and encouraging new audiences to visit, and we are delighted to receive this from Visit England. Now, the next exhibition at Dorset Museum and Art Gallery is the Elizabeth Frink A View from Within, which will open on Saturday the 2nd of December and showcase the exceptional art collections within the museum and art gallery, as well as providing access to pieces that have never been seen on display before. So let's get rid of those, and here we go. I think I've missed a piece of paper somewhere there. Oh, here we go. Work on the Weymouth Harbour Peninsula quayside starts on Monday the 16th of October, that's this Monday, to create new facilities for fishing, charter and harbourside businesses and improve public spaces on that part of the harbour. That's the peninsula behind the pavilion. The improvements are thanks to a grant of £3.79 million, which was awarded to the then Weymouth and Portland Borough Council in partnership with the Weymouth Area Development Trust in March 2019. And this came from the government's Coastal Communities Fund. The bid was submitted on behalf of the Weymouth Coastal Community Team. The currently disused area of the harbour beyond the pavilion will see the relocation and construction of a brand new fish landing quay, the creation of new fuel pontoon and new compound areas for storing harbour and fisheries materials, including an ice making facility and refrigerated chilled catch store. In addition to the new facilities for fishing and harbour businesses, pedestrianised access and seating areas will be created along the quayside, eventually joining with other walkways linking the harbour with Weymouth's award-winning beach. The pavilion and car park on the peninsula will not be affected by the developments. The Weymouth Harbour team will be producing regular updates throughout the duration of the work, and you can get these on www.weymouth-harbour.co.uk. Councillor Ray Bryan from Dorset Council, who's the portfolio holder at the council, said between this brownfield site development and the various levelling up projects, Dorset Council is investing many millions in Weymouth right now. We are committed to kick-starting Weymouth's waterside economy, and this scheme is just one part of that commitment coming to fruition. Now, work is scheduled to last 25 weeks, with a view to being completed in the spring of 2024. During the works, no public access will be permitted to that part of the harbour whilst the works are underway. Now, the National Crime Agency have been busy, and they've begun an investigation following the recovery of a significant quantity of what is thought to be cocaine from the coast of Dorset and Hampshire. Holdalls containing hundreds of kilos of powder were discovered in the sea off of St Albans Point and Durdle Door areas of Purbeck, and this was following an earlier quantity washed up on a beach on the Isle of Wight. The initial find was made on Monday the 2nd of October by a fisherman who alerted Dorset Police. The packages are currently being examined to confirm their contents and the quantity. The investigation has been supported by Border Force, Dorset Police and Hampshire Police, all working together. NCA, or National Crime Agency, Senior Investigating Officer Tracy Lake said, "We believe this is a significant amount of Class A drugs which would have originated in South America. A loss of a consignment of this size would represent a significant hit to the criminal networks involved." Now, the police are asking people to watch out for anything washed up on the beaches or found floating in the water off of the Dorset and Hampshire coast. And if you do see anything suspicious, do give them a call on 999, giving details of where those packages are and where they have been sighted, and you will be given further advice as to what to do. Dorset County, here we go, let's get the picture up. Dorset County Hospital's Fortunes Well chemotherapy unit has received a significant donation from Athelhampton House following a recent fundraising event. Athelhampton's owner, Giles Keating, organised an auction at the iconic Tudor Manor House with help from Kay Kerslake, a previous fundraiser for Dorset County Hospital. The auction was in two parts, the first half being a commercial sale of various surplus items, the second a charity auction, raising money both for Fortunes Well unit and for Dorset Museum. Duke's auctioneers received normal commercial terms for the first half and very kindly agreed to waive their commission for the charity auction, also generously collecting all the money and handing over the items which had been purchased. Officers investigating an incident where a man was found injured on the seafront in Weymouth are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information to come forward. Dorset Police received a report at 3:22 p.m. on Saturday the 7th of October from the ambulance service that a man aged in his 50s had been found with injuries on the Esplanade near to Marks and Spencer. He was taken to hospital for treatment for a serious head injury. Police Constable Josh Manning of Weymouth Police said, "We have been carrying out inquiries into the incident as we seek to establish how the man sustained his injuries and whether there was any third-party involvement. I'm appealing for anyone who was in the area and saw what happened or has any information to please get in touch." And staying with Dorset Police, officers are also issuing CCTV images of a man they would like assistance with identifying as they investigate two thefts from a Portland supermarket. At around 12 p.m. on Thursday the 10th of August, a man entered the Tesco store in Park Road and made off without paying with items valued at £118. It's believed the same man also made off from the same store without paying for items valued £132 on Saturday the 19th of August. Police Constable Joy Atkins of Weymouth Police said, "We are continuing to investigate these thefts and I'm issuing a CCTV images of a man we would like to identify as part of our inquiries." Now, if you can help with either of those incidents this week, then do give Dorset Police a call on 101, or if you wish to give information anonymously, you can do this via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. Now, this month saw the launch of the Home Upgrade Grant in Dorset, a government-funded scheme helping homeowners and landlords improve the energy efficiency of their homes. Through the scheme, households who do not use mains gas for heating, are on low income and have a low energy rating could be eligible for grants for energy saving measures. The 2-year programme is being delivered by Ridgewater Energy on behalf of Dorset Council and Public Health Dorset, and can cover measures like loft and wall insulation, heat pumps, double glazing, low energy lighting and solar panels. To qualify, homes need to have an energy performance certificate rating of D, E, F or G, must not use mains gas for heating and have a low income. To meet the criteria of a low income, households must receive a means tested benefit, have a combined income of less than $31,000 before tax, or live in an eligible postcode area. Residents can check whether they are eligible for a home upgrade grant or other support available by contacting Healthy Homes Dorset via their website, and the website is www.healthyhomesdorset.org.uk. You can also contact them by telephone on 0300 003 7023. That's 0300 003 7023. Now, this is all being funded by a grant awarded to Dorset of £4.3 million from the Department of Energy Security and Net Zero. And that's all been put in place to deliver this phase of the Home Upgrade Grant. Excuse me. Residents with care lines have been warned to look out for scammers asking for money as part of the ongoing switch away from analogue telephone systems. Some care line equipment needs to be upgraded as part of Ofcom's requirement for BT and Openreach to update the telephone system to a digital one. BT and Openreach are moving householders from the old copper network to a new broadband connection. Landline telephone numbers will remain the same during the switch. The upgrade will be down to the telecom companies, who will inform people of the changes on a postcode basis between now and December 2025. The new care lines will need to be installed by care providers before the digital switchover takes place. People who have had a care line service and equipment installed by Dorset Council since February 2022 will have automatically received a new digital version, so will not need any new equipment. Councillor Jane Somper from Dorset Council said it's important for the local authority to raise awareness of the forthcoming changes so that residents have time to plan. She went on to say telecom companies must give people at least 1 month's notice before the analogue line is switched off and changed over to digital. This may not happen in some areas for another 12 to 18 months. But she went on to say, we are getting reports that some individuals are using this to try and scam people into paying for services that they don't have to. If you receive a call asking you to pay for your care line, please put down the phone. Do not give out any bank details to anyone. That is most important. Now, residents are being urged to have their say on services provided by Weymouth Town Council and help the council plan for the future. The council has this week launched a resident survey to gain feedback on its services. Everyone who completes the short survey will have the chance to be entered into a prize draw with a chance to win one £100 high street shopping voucher. So well worth entering your comments and having a chance to win that £100 voucher. Services run by the council include everything from public toilets, parks, gardens and open spaces to the beach and promenade. However, they like to point out statutory services like housing, education, waste and recycling are run by the main Dorset Council, not the Town Council. Council leader, Councillor David Harris, said Weymouth Town Council is committed to listening to residents and acting in their best interests. Our resident survey will provide valuable feedback on what is important to everyone living in the town and help us to understand what people think of their council. The survey results will also be used to evaluate satisfaction levels within the services the council provides so that we can continue to make improvements for the benefit of all residents and to tourists who visit our beautiful coastal town. Now, survey questions cover residents' thoughts on customer service satisfaction levels when contacting the council to views on how clean and well maintained facilities are, from toilets, parks, gardens and open spaces. The consultation runs until Friday the 24th of November and is available online on the Weymouth Town Council website, and the easiest way to find it is to go to the Google search engine and type Weymouth Town Council Services Survey. That's Weymouth Town Council Services Survey. You'll then get onto a page, and if you go down through the page and read about the survey, there is a link for you to complete the survey. I completed the survey this afternoon and it literally took me just a couple of minutes, so your views are very valued. It won't take you too long to do the survey, and you have that chance of winning a £100 shopping voucher. Now, if you're not used to doing things online, or you've got neighbours, relatives or friends who aren't used to doing things online and they would like to take part in the survey, you can also go into Weymouth Library and get support to fill out the survey at the customer service point in the library. Now, the No Thoughts Community Poppy Project is in full swing with contributions from volunteers, visitors and community groups. If you would like to get involved, the fort are keen. If you have any spare plastic bottles, you can drop them off at the fort. These will be washed out, cut, painted and added to the display. And you can actually see some poppies on the screen there that have been made from plastic bottles. They're holding drop-in workshops where visitors can add to the display as they wish. Come and place your own poppy on display, and they'll be holding a larger scale workshop on Saturday the 4th of November to finish the display off and to begin to install it. Now, if you've got any queries or you'd like to join in with the project, then just pop along to the Know That Fort website. Go into Google, type Know Fort, and you will get the Know Fort website, where you will find any information that you need. And if you don't find it on there, then it will give you the contact details to get in touch with the fort, who will be able to answer your questions. Now, there will be plenty of sand, sea and spin, as more than 20,000 enthusiasts are expected to flock to the annual beach motocross race being held on Weymouth Beach tomorrow, Sunday, October the 15th. Up to 300 riders will don on their helmets and rev their engines as they scramble over the sands at the Weymouth and Portland Lion Club's fundraising event, which has been organised with Purbeck Motocross Club and Weymouth Lions Club. The high-flying extravaganza over humps and bumps will be held on the beach and starts at 12 noon with practice laps tomorrow. Alf Stern, chairman of Purbeck Beach Motocross, said his words aren't quite right here. We have more than 300 riders over 3 different categories expected this year, negotiating the usually sandy course humps and bumps. We are the largest amateur event of its kind in the country, which isn't bad for a small club with about 10 active members. So do pop along there tomorrow. You'll certainly hear it if you're in the town. You can view it from large areas of the promenade, and you will obviously be supporting Weymouth Lions Club, a very important local charity that supports lots of other local charities in Weymouth. Now, important news for those of us in White Regis. White Regis Parish this week gets a new rector, with the Reverend John Mackenzie being installed by the Right Reverend Stephen Lake, Bishop of Salisbury, this Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. at All Saints Church. John and his wife Sophie, who you can see in the picture, joined the parish from his last appointment at St Luke's, West Holloway in the Diocese of London, and before that, previous appointments in Kent. John says he's passionate about working in and with the local community and schools, building relationships and partnerships to better the lives of those around us, especially those on the margins. Anyone from the community or community organisations who would like to come along will be most welcome at the service on Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock at All Saints Church. Now, there's various dinging going on here, some trouble going on with the IT, so I'm just going to ignore it and carry on, and hopefully it will settle itself down. Now, we're going over to Clive Gray now for this week's In the Garden to see what Clive is up to in his garden this week.
Hello again. Now we're tidying the borders. We've got lots of little plantlets inside here which we need to just lift and clear out, because it's time for autumn. We can clear all of this. These are the dead stems of plants from last year. We can clear all of these out, get it all ready for spring next year. Look at that, that's going to be absolutely beautiful. Just a nice little clean up, and then we can carry on cleaning up just these little weeds, and that's going to be absolutely superb for next year. So happy days. So it's just a case of tidying up these borders. We can cut the edges of the grass just with the trowel here, tidy the edges up. I can do this with the cutters, but we're not going to do that. We can clear all this through, and for next year this is going to look absolutely beautiful. But we've got to get inside and clear up all of the dead and dying, and that's going to actually look beautiful, because when these bulbs come through for spring next year, it's going to look absolutely beautiful. Well, as we work through the borders and we clear them up, get them looking decent for the winter, keep tidying the edges, keep tidying them, clear all this out of there. Oh yes, this is going to be a lot better. Now, the one thing to remember as you're doing this, make sure your saw is not compressed. It's got to be nice and lifted. Yeah, nice and soft, because when we put our bulbs in about 2 or 3 weeks time, that's going to be perfect for growing our new plants for next year. Now, all I can say is we're going to have a lovely, lovely winter. All these plants that we put in here, now I'm going to be putting about 20 or 30 bulbs in here, and they're going to bring us some lovely colour for the new year. But as we're doing this, we're going to be thinking happy. Just think happy. That's the way we need to be. So yeah, that's this week in my garden.
Thank you very much there, Clive, and we'll be back with Clive next week, and more about Clive later in today's programme. Now, there has been a rare find of a bluefin tuna, 9 feet in length, washed up on the Dorset coast at Kimmeridge. Now, tuna are often spotted in the Channel and around Cornwall, but it's very rare for them to be seen on the coast here in Dorset. It's thought that they are around, possibly targeting huge shoals of mackerel or herring, and are attracted by the warmer water temperatures that we are experiencing in recent years, with less fluctuation in water temperature that has been what happened previously. Now, the bluefin tuna can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh in at 400 kilograms, and they can swim at speeds of up to 43 miles an hour, pursuing their prey. Now, we're going to hear a short report from Julie Hatcher of Dorset Wildlife Trust on the find at Kimmeridge, and I will warn you, it does show the tuna unfortunately deceased with Julie in the film.
Here we are in Kimmeridge Bay, and today a bluefin tuna has washed up, unfortunately dead, on the beach. This is a magnificent fish, and this particular specimen measures 9 feet in length, so it's a large adult that unfortunately has died at sea and washed up here today. These fish have been absent from our UK seas for decades, but just recently have started to make a return. So it's wonderful to know that these animals are now out there. They're apex predators. They don't have any predators of their own here as adults, apart from man. But bluefin tuna are often seen now off the coast of Cornwall, out in the Channel, and even from the Dorset coast as well. So although it's sad to see this specimen unfortunately dead, it's great to know that bluefin tuna are back in our waters where they belong.
Thank you very much, Julie. And Dorset Wildlife Trust are very interested to hear from anyone who sees a sighting of a bluefin tuna. Obviously, if you're out in a boat or out fishing, or if you find one dead, obviously on the coast, they would like to know about it. They are large beasts, as we see there, so quite easy to spot. And you can let Dorset Wildlife Trust know on 01305 264 620. Or just search for Dorset Wildlife Trust, find their website and send them an email on the email from the website. Now it's time in today's programme to go over to this week's film review and preview, and we join our regular contributor Andrew Wright.
Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week saw the release of 3 big movies on home video: Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, Elemental, and Knights of the Zodiac. I saw Transformers in the cinema back in June, I think, and I watched Elemental and Knights of the Zodiac this week. My reviews will follow. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts is the 7th live-action Transformers film, and serves as a prequel to the 2007 film and a standalone sequel to 2018's Bumblebee. The film stars actors Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback, as well as actors Peter Cullen, Ron Perlman, Peter Dinklage, Michelle Yeoh, Pete Davidson, and Colman Domingo in voice roles. The film is set in 1994 and follows an ex-military electronics expert and an artifact researcher as they get involved with the Autobots, who come into contact with the Transformer faction, the Maximals, in their battle to protect an artifact from the villainous Terracons and the planet-eating Unicron. Now, I watched this film back in June and I really enjoyed the film. I felt that although the CGI wasn't as sharp as the Michael Bay Transformer movies and the script was a little unsteady, a lot of the actors' performances were enjoyable, with Peter Cullen's performance as Optimus being a highlight, as well as the Peru filmed sequences, because they just looked incredible. I gave this film 4.5 stars out of 5. Elemental is the newest Disney Pixar movie and is set in a world inhabited by anthropomorphic forces of nature. The film revolves around fire element Ember Lumen and the water element Wade Ripple, who meet and fall in love after a plumbing accident summons Wade to the convenience store owned by Ember's father. Now, watching it on home video was my first time watching it. It has been out on Disney Plus for a couple of weeks, but I couldn't get around to it, and I was absolutely sucked in by the story and the animation. I felt that the animation and the world building designs were all incredible, and I found the story really touching. It blended elements of an opposites attract rom-com and a story about immigration and an immigrant story into a really well-made animated story that proves Pixar's regained its touch, because I really didn't like Turning Red last year. I gave this film 5 stars out of 5. Knights of the Zodiac is a fantasy action film based on the Japanese manga Saint Seiya as an American-Japanese co-production. The film stars the One Piece's live-action star Mackenyu as Seiya, a street kid with a talent for martial arts who is destined to become the Pegasus Knight for the goddess Athena. The film also stars notable Western actors such as Famke Janssen, Madison Eisman, Mark Dacascos, and Sean Bean. Now, I watched this film for the first time on home video, and I was disappointed, even though I had low expectations due to negative critical reviews. I felt that the CGI was way too wonky and uneven. Like, some shots would be really good and others would be really bad. The directing was horrible. All the acting was phoned in, and it was obvious there was like some studio interference on some level. I gave the film 1.5 stars out of 5. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will review the horror sequel Insidious: The Red Door and the Jason Statham action film The Meg 2. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you, Andrew. We'll be back with Andrew next week. Now, we do have a film trailer for you this week, and it's a good one. Well, I think it's a good one anyway. The trailer we have this week is for Wonka, starring Timothy, not quite sure how you say it, Chalamet. Step into the world of pure imagination in cinemas from December the 8th. Based on the extraordinary character at the centre of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Roald Dahl's most iconic children's book, and one of the best-selling children's books of all time. Wonka tells the wondrous story of how the world's greatest inventor, magician and chocolate maker became the beloved Willy Wonka we know today. In a film featuring an intoxication mix of magic and music, mayhem and emotion, all told with fabulous heart and humour. Now, starring alongside Chalamet is a star-studded cast, and there's too many names to mention, but I will mention some of them just to show you the sorts of people that are in the film. Matt Lucas, Rowan Atkinson, Olivia Colman, Hugh Grant, and many, many more. Neil Hamlin of the band The Divine Comedy has also written original songs for the film. Now, I hope you will agree with me. The trailer looks absolutely brilliant, and it looks like a good film to be out just before Christmas, and one that I will look forward to watching as soon as I can. It's from Warner Brothers Pictures. It's presented in association with Village Roadshow Pictures and Heyday Films Production and a Paul King confection. Wonka is set to open in theatres on the 8th of December. It's from Warner Brothers Pictures, and here it is a taster for you now.
So you're the funny little man who's been following me.
Funny little man? How dare you? I will have you know that I am a perfectly respectable size for an Oompa Loompa.
An Oompa what now?
In fact, in Loompa-land, I am regarded as something of a whopper. They call me Lofty.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. My name is Willy Wonka.
You see, I'm something of a magician. Prepare to be amazed.
Teapot.
Inventor.
May I present Willy Wonka's wild and wonderful wishy-washy Wonka Walker? Please don't make me say that again.
And chocolate maker.
The best chocolate in the world.
Ooh. He's good. Too good.
And anyone can afford them. Even
The poor?
He doesn't like it when people say poor.
Send Wonka a message.
Do not sell chocolate in this town!
You're gonna get more than a bonk on the head.
I love a bonk on the head.
What is with me today?
You should stand up to those bullies. Give them the old 1-2.
I got an idea.
Where do we start?
Making chocolate, of course.
Every good thing in this world started with a dream. So you hold on to yours.
I guess it's time to change the world.
Oompa Loompa Dumpa-diddy. I'm not in premium economy.
Good night, sir. I am going flat.
Huh.
What is it?
Nothing.
Well, it's obviously something because you said, huh.
Forget it.
Very well.
Huh.
You did it again. Tell me what it is, or I shall poke you quite viciously with a cocktail stick.
There we go. That looks to be an absolutely brilliant film coming out just before Christmas from Warner Brothers Pictures, Wonka, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing that. Now it's time in the programme to go over to the Met Office for the National Weather Forecast, and this week we are joined by Jonathan Vautry.
Hello there. It certainly feels like autumn is in full swing now. You may even need your big coat whilst you're stepping outside this weekend. We've got northerly winds bringing in cold air from the Arctic, sweeping its way across all areas of the UK. Notice as well how those isobars are really quite tightly spaced together across the northeast. We've seen 77-mile-an-hour gusts of winds this morning across Fair Isle. Whilst those severe gales are easing off, it is going to remain still quite a windy and blustery day for eastern areas, exacerbating that cold feel even more. Those northerly winds also bringing in showers for the north and west. Will to be wintry over the higher grounds of Scotland, maybe some hail to lower levels of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. But some areas will stay largely dry throughout today, particularly Fife down towards East Anglia, that eastern side of the UK, seeing a good amount of sunny spells. Temperatures, though, after we've seen above average temperatures for the past few weeks or so, noticeably down from that, even slightly below average for the middle of October, around 8 to 10 degrees Celsius, Scotland and Northern Ireland, 12 to 14 degrees Celsius for Wales and England. Any of the showers that we do have around inland will tend to ease their way off overnight, but probably still persisting across some western and northern coastal areas, perhaps pushing through the Cheshire Gap as well. Underneath the starry skies that we do see inland, though, temperatures will be widely falling off. Could be the coldest night of the autumn so far. Low single figures for many of our towns and cities, but certainly dropping below freezing in some rural spots, so quite a chilly start to Sunday morning. As we do head into Sunday, though, it is high pressure that is increasingly going to be the main driver of our weather. You'll notice as well that those isobars are spacing their way out, so the winds will be lighter on Sunday compared to what we have seen around throughout Saturday. Despite that chilly start, though, a good amount of sunshine for many of us to compensate. The showers persisting across the far north of Scotland, where it will be cloudier throughout the day. Perhaps a few showers skirting the parts of East Anglia as well, but for many of us staying largely dry and a good amount of weather throughout the day. Temperatures, though, still around 10 to 13 degrees Celsius, so feeling rather cold still, but at least some lighter winds to compensate for a little bit. A relatively fine end to the weekend for many of us as well. A little bit of late sunshine before the night begins to draw its way in. Staying dry for much of Northern Ireland, Wales and England. Again, just those showers persisting across the far north of Scotland. High pressure does look like it will stay in charge for most of the middle of next week as well, but perhaps something a little bit more unsettled arriving later on. But we'll have plenty of detail on that across our social media channels, and we'll be back again very shortly. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much there, Jonathan, for this weekend's National Weather Forecast. And looking for the week ahead in South Dorset here. Looks like we've got some rain coming out later in the week. And although the daytime temperatures are still holding up, they're still quite warm for this time of year, nighttime temperatures will be dropping and getting quite chilly at night now. And as we can see, Wednesday and possibly Friday, we might have some quite heavy rain. But hopefully before then, we've got some sunny spells. So if you want to get out, it's earlier in the week to get out, really, as it gets wetter as the week goes on. Now it's time for our What's On section, and a few things for you to look out for in the What's On section this week. First of all, Weymouth Pavilion, 19th of October, The Wall of Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon Tour. 21st of October, Magic of the Bee Gees. 22nd of October, Simon and Garfunkel Story. 26th of October, Fast Love, the George Michael Tribute. 27th of October, Legends of American Country. 28th of October, the George Harrison Project, and 29th of October, Hello Again, the Neil Diamond Songbook. So lots of different tribute acts there coming up with different types of music from country and George Michael and Simon and Garfunkel, all sorts there for you at Weymouth Pavilion. Just pop along to the Weymouth Pavilion website or give the box office a call to book tickets as usual. No Fort, 21st to 22nd of October, Halloween Fun at the Fort. Also, over the same period, they have got spooktacular shows with the Critter Clan. Now, this is all sort of reptiles and things, so snakes and tarantulas, dragons and cockroaches, and you can take the family along and the children along to see those and learn about those. They recommend that you book in advance. More information on the Northfort website, northfort.org.uk. Also, over the period 22nd to the 26th of October, Halloween week and half term, Lulworth Castle has got lots of Halloween themed events. More information on those at www.lulworth.com. There's going to be a talk by local author Jackie Winter at Weymouth Library on the 4th of November, talking about her most recent published book, exploring the quiet lanes and villages of West Dorset. The talk will start at 10:30 and tickets are £2 for library members and £3 for non-members. Refreshments will also be available. That's the 4th of November. Coming up with Arts Reach, quite a few different things coming up with Arts Reach. 20th of October, a pocket opera at Portisham Village Hall. 25th of October, Stories in the Dust at Royal Manor Theatre on Portland. 26th of October, Egg and Spoon at Powerstock Hut. And 9th of November, Little Murmur, Broadmain Village Hall. More information and bookings on those and many, many, many more Arts Reach events and shows at www.artsreach.co.uk. Now, church services in White Regis this weekend. Services All Saints Church 9:30 communion service tomorrow and 11 o'clock at St Edmund's Church. Now, the 8 a.m. communion service will start again next Sunday at All Saints Church and run each week moving forward. And of course, 7 o'clock on Tuesday this week, we have the institution of the new rector by the Bishop of Salisbury, if anybody from the community would like to join us for that. Now, our other programmes tonight, our quiz programme, 7:30 on this channel. That's available to anybody, free of charge. Anyone throughout the community, family friendly, community friendly, easygoing, and it's free. What more could you want on a Saturday evening? And we heard from Clive Gray with his This Week in the Garden in our programme today. His October full programme will go out tomorrow at 4 o'clock, so that's 4 o'clock on Sunday, and will be repeated at 7 o'clock on Friday. So that's 4 o'clock tomorrow and 7 o'clock on Friday for A Year Gardening with Clive Gray, the October edition. And then Clive will be taking a break from his main programmes until after Christmas, when he starts to get back out in the garden and preparing things for next season. Well, there we go. We come to the end of another programme. That's all we have for you this week. As ever, if you've got any stories for us, any events coming up, or anything else you want to share with the local community, then do drop us a line. We are here 24/7. Our email address is available at news@whiteregis.tv. That's news@whiteregis.tv. We would love to hear from you and be happy to share things with the people of White Regis, Weymouth, South Dorset and beyond in a future programme. So it just remains for me to say have a good weekend and a good week ahead. And if you're not joining me for the quiz later this evening, I look forward to being back with you 6 o'clock next Saturday. Good night.